Hey guys, we're going to work on adding integers. Yesterday we looked at adding integers using models, and now we're going to look at number lines and algorithms. So the first thing it says is integers like 2 and -2 are called opposites because they're the same distance from 0, but on opposite sides. Complete the graphic organizer about opposites. So the first thing they want you to do is they want you to model it. So the opposite of 3 would be -3, right there. And then an example of opposites might be something like, this is going to get to the paper, might be like hot and cold. And a math example could be -3 and 3, like we have on the number line. Okay, so two integers that are opposites are also called additive inverses. The additive inverse property states that the sum of any two numbers and its additive inverse is 0. And you can model this like 2 plus -2 on the number line. So you would always start at 0, and if you go to +2, and then from +2 you go in the negative direction, and then you would end up at 0. Okay. Then if you have the temperatures outside, the temperature outside is -5 degrees, name the temperature that would make the sum of the two temperatures 0. So your additive inverse of -5 would be +5 or just 5. Okay, and that would be degrees. That was quite easy, wasn't it? And so I guess the question that we want to think about while we're looking at all of this is what happens when we add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers. So we want to think about what's happening when we do that. On the next page, that was page 203, this is page 204, it says add integers with the same sign. So to add integers with the same sign, you add their absolute values, and that's kind of it. And it says the sum is positive if both integers are positive. The sum is negative if both integers are negative. And so you start at 0 and you add 3 plus 4, you get 7. If you have -3 plus -4, you get -7. Okay, so if both integers are positive, the sum is going to be positive. If both integers are negative, the sum is going to be negative. So let's look at this one. Determine -3 plus -2. So you start at 0, move 3 units down in the negative direction, and then from there, move 2 units more down to show -2, and you end up at -5. Okay. Here you have -27 plus -17. They're both integers are negative. So your sum is going to be negative. And so you would just add those and get -43. Here it says determine -4 plus -3 plus -5. Sorry, y'all. -4 plus -3 would be -7. -7 plus -5 would be -12. Okay. So -5 plus -7, that's going to be -12. Okay. -10 plus -4 would be -14. Negative 14 plus negative 16. That would be negative, what, 30? And then that last one, which would be negative 8 plus negative 10, that would give you negative 18, plus negative 7 would give you negative 25. I'm going to put my answers over here, negative 25, then we have negative 30, negative 14, and negative 12. Those are all negative, weren't they? Okay, adding integers with different signs. Okay, to add integers with different signs, you subtract their absolute values. Subtract their absolute values. And your sum is going to be positive if the positive integer's absolute value is greater. The answer is going to be negative if the negative integer's absolute value is greater. Okay? So we have 9 plus negative 4. The larger absolute value would be 9, right? So 9's positive, so we know our answer is going to be positive. So if we start at 0 and we go to positive 9, and from positive 9 we go negative 4 units, or we do 4 units in the negative direction, we would end up at positive 5. If we start at 0 and we go negative 9, and from negative 9 we go positive 4, we end up at negative 5. Okay, number 4. 5 plus negative 3. We start at 0, 5 units to the right in the positive direction, and 3 units to the left in the negative direction, and we end up at positive 2. Here, we start at 0, and we go 3 units in the negative direction, 2 in the positive direction, and we end up at negative 1. Here we have 2 plus negative 15 plus negative 2. Now, because of the commutative property, we're able to switch our numbers around, you know. Because you're adding, you can't add them in any order. So, what they did was they did, I see. 2 plus negative 2, which they knew would give them 0, plus negative 15, which would be negative 15. Right here, 6 plus negative 7, that would be 7 minus 6 is 1. The number with the larger absolute value is negative 7, so our answer is negative 1. Negative 13 plus 18. 18 minus 13 would be what, 5? And 18 has the larger absolute value, and so it's going to be positive. Here we have negative 15 plus 9. Opposite signs, right? And so our difference would be 4, and 19's larger, the absolute value is larger, and so it's positive, so our answer would be positive. For G, you've got positive 10 plus negative 12. Those signs are opposite. So 12 minus 10 would be 2, and 12 has the larger absolute value, and so our answer would be negative because 12 is negative. Oh, look right here. I love that. That's going to be 0, isn't it? And then we have negative 14 plus 0 would give you negative 14. Okay, so E was negative 1, F was 4, G was negative 2, H was 5, and I was negative 14. All right, pretty straightforward. Now on the back side, a roller coaster. Oh, y'all were just talking about roller coasters in science. I love it. So a roller coaster starts at point A. It goes up 20 feet, down 32, and then up 16 feet to point B. Write an equation, an addition sentence to find the height at point B in relation to point A. Then find the sum and explain its meaning. So basically, it starts at point A, it goes up 20 feet, down 32, and then back up 16 to point B. And then okay, so find the sum and explain the meaning. Okay, so if we do 20 plus 16 is 36. 36 plus negative 32 gives you positive 4. So point B is 4 feet higher than point A. I love it. Okay, now this part says add and use a number line. Okay, so we need to always have 0 on the middle of our number line, and then we can decide how far we need to go out in each direction. Okay, so we've got negative 6 and negative 8. So we definitely have to go to negative 8. And so I put positive 8 there. That would be 4. Oh, 7, 8. Okay. So if we start at 0 and we go negative 8 units, right? Okay. And we end up there. And then from there, we would go in the opposite direction. I can use a different color. And we need to go that's not going to work. No, we're still going to go. Oh, I did that wrong. Sorry, guys. 4, 5, 6. We should have stopped at 6. Okay. And then added another 8 units. So that would take you on out here to negative 14. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. That looks terrible. Okay. Let's see if I can do better on this next one. We've got 0 in the middle. We're going to go from 0 to negative 3. And then from there, we're going to go 10 units in the positive direction. And that would get you to positive 7. Okay. And that's what they want you to do there. And then they've got some word problems for you. Okay. So for your assignment, I want you to do page, let's do page 207. And let's do problems 1 through 11. Okay. I think that should be good. Yeah. All right. If you have any questions, be sure and either ask me at the end of class or see me during win time. But I hope with using the number line and the just using the number line and using the well, I guess we just used the number line, but then we also used our algorithm, because we know that, yeah, I guess we did. Oh, yeah, on the different signs. Okay, very good. And then I'm also going to give you a, not like a foldable, but just kind of a graphic to help you with all the rules for integers. So, so you'll be getting that probably on a Wednesday. So anyway, hope that helped you with adding integers, and I will see you guys in class. Have a good evening or day.